Relief for a free consultation. 783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage expert. Steve, mortgage rates have been dropping this year. How could that help seniors struggling to stay in their homes?
Lower mortgage rates means seniors can now get more money from their equity with a reverse mortgage. You can pay off your existing mortgage, have extra money to help with today's high cost of living, or believe it or not, you can even buy a home with a reverse mortgage. There are many uses, and best of all, you have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The rift between President Trump and Elon Musk intensified today over the president's spending package.
He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything, and I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill.
But Musk is concerned about the bill's impact on the deficit. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
The fact that Musk is highlighting that is not helpful to the president. But there are all kinds of other issues that Republican senators in particular have with the bill that are probably going to require some changes, and trying to satisfy everyone, or at least enough Senate Republicans that they can get this over the finish line, is tricky enough as it is without Elon heaping his criticism onto it.
Trump also said Musk is angry because the bill removes electric vehicle credits and Trump's decision not to go with Musk's choice to head NASA. Musk fired back. Trump would never have been elected without him. In the Middle East, Israel struck Beirut's southern suburbs, targeting what it says were Hezbollah drone production sites. The bodies of 2 Israeli-American hostages, meanwhile, were recovered from Gaza. The Supreme Court weighed in today on 2 closely followed cases. The justices threw out Mexico's case against U.S. gun makers over cartel violence and sided with an Ohio woman who was suing her employer for reverse discrimination. CBS's Jan Crawford.
In this unanimous ruling today by Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the justices said if you're a member of a majority group, if you're straight, if you're white, you don't have to jump through an extra hoop just to have your day in court, just to try to prove your case. Ohio and 20 other states in the District of Columbia required that extra evidence for members of majority groups. So it was harder for white people and straight people to prove their claims.
The president's latest travel ban will likely end up in court, as Natalie Brand reports.
During the first Trump administration, officials had to revise the travel ban a couple different times, and the eventual version did end up going all the way to the Supreme Court.
Jason Brooks reports ahead of tomorrow's jobs and unemployment report the labor market is showing cracks.
Companies providing services to other companies, retailers, and technology were the leading job cutters, with tech firms laying off more than 10,500 employees in May, with a total for 2025 ahead of last year's pace by 35%.
Investors are waiting for tomorrow's report and were not swayed by President Trump's talk with the Chinese president today on tariffs. The Dow finished off 108 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We are hearing the actual voice of the Central Washington father who's accused of killing his daughter. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk, roadwork has the lane closed on northbound I-5 near Nisqually. You are backed up between the Nisqually Bar and Grill and Martin Way East. Travel time Olympia to Tacoma, 50 minutes now. That's almost 20 longer than usual. You've also got construction along JBLM southbound on I-5, Tacoma to Olympia. Travel time not much affected. It's 38 minutes there. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Through June, take advantage of 12 months, same as cash financing, with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. There is a massive police response right now in Kent on 68th Avenue between 228th and 212th Streets. We are in contact with Kent Police and have a reporter heading to the scene. We will bring you more information on that as soon as we get it. For the first time, we're hearing the voice of Travis Decker as he pleaded in court last fall to spend time with his 3 daughters, whom he's now accused of killing. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
In court, Travis explained he'd never put his daughters at risk and often took his daughters camping.
Every time I've had the girls, we have been in campsites in national forests and paid campsites.
7 months later, deputies found the bodies of Decker's 3 daughters at a campground near Leavenworth. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Please turn yourself in. Let's wrap this up and do what's right for your kids.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison pleading with Decker to turn himself in. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson is in central Washington where the search is intense.
They are using helicopters from other agencies across Washington and other aircraft to search for Travis Decker. They are focusing on the mountains outside of Leavenworth, near where the girls' remains were found outside of Decker's truck on Monday night.
Police say Decker has extensive military training and could survive for some time outdoors. A Snohomish County jury has found a driver guilty in the death of Washington State Trooper Christopher Gadd. Prosecutors argued Raul Benitez Santana was speeding after drinking and smoking pot when he crashed into Gadd's patrol car.
His perception of the danger has been blunted by the chemicals that he has consumed.
Defense attorneys argued Gadd's patrol car parked on the shoulder was difficult to see. The jury didn't buy it. A search and rescue team from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island is credited with plucking 2 climbers off Mount Baker after they became stranded. The 2 slipped and fell while trying to summit the north face of the mountain earlier this week. It was a Mukilteo police officer to the rescue when she found an injured bald eagle lying in a roadway. She scooped up the bird, drove it to the station, and then rushed it to Paws Wildlife Center. The eagle's now being treated so it can fly again. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching or attempting to watch on mynorthwest.com or YouTube, we are trying to fix our camera issues, so those will be fixed shortly. All right, tons of stuff to get to this hour. A lot of stuff to talk about. I saw this story. I was very excited. Spike, how much time do you estimate you spend in Costco? How often do you go to Costco?
Oh, easily once a week.
Oh, yeah,
easily once a week.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go in for the 3-cart trail, the train of mass acquisition that is Costco. Some Costco
Are you
shoppers.
pop in? You just pop in for a couple
I'm a
things?
pop in for 3, 4 things, 5 things at a time.
Eggs, milk.
Eggs, milk,
rotisserie
butter.
chicken.
No. Or usually it's paper products, paper towels, toilet paper. Boom,
Sure. That makes
making
sense.
a paper run.
Well, they got the best deal on that stuff.
They do.
Okay. So Costco's doing this new thing. I'm in there a lot because there's one very close to my house. And so
Plus you're raising an army.
And I'm raising an army, and that's where you shop if you're raising an army.
Right.
There's this whole subculture, honestly, and this is not a Costco ad. This is just a reality. There's a whole subculture of Costco fan pages and all this stuff. People go nuts for Costco. We post a story out on mynorthwest.com that has the word Costco in it.
Oh, yeah?
It's almost like a weather headline. Like you do something about weather because people want to know, because so many people, it's so ingrained into people's lives.
Do you think the fact that it started here in the Northwest, we have a real sense of pride?
No.
And going no?
No, it's because it's a convenient way to do it.
It's because it's a great, convenient, affordable way to shop.
Yeah, I wouldn't care where it started.
See, I love the fact that they treat their employees well. They pay their employees well.
We're not advertising.
I
know. Here's the new thing they're doing, though.
Okay.
How they're making my life easier. They're having a thing called Scan and Go. If this works for Costco, I don't know why every single business wouldn't do this exact same thing. Think about when you go to Costco, what's the one downside of going to Costco, aside from big crowds and spending too much money?
I was going to say, for me, it's always an extra zero in what I intended to spend when I walked in the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's checkout. Checkout stink.
So here's what they're going to do now. It's called the Scan and Go checkout option. They're testing it right now. And what they're trying to do is reduce that very thing that you just talked about. They already have a self-checkout area.
They do self-check, yep.
So you can go in there and do self-checkout. I got to be honest, I don't love self-checkout as much as just going through the regular thing because I like somebody doing it for me. Oftentimes I have a lot of items, so I don't want to be scanning everything.
Self-checkout should be capped at a certain amount of items, much like an express lane.
8 items?
8 items. That sounds reasonable.
Sure.
Right, because I don't want to get the self-checkout, you get a guy with a full cart overflowing.
Sure.
The system isn't built first off to take things from the cart and store them somewhere while you do all your scanning. It's not built for it.
In self-checkout, you also have to acquire your own box. You got to find that somewhere. I know they got them nearby, but whatever. I don't love it. I don't love self-checkout. But what they're going to start doing, which I think is really smart.
Scan and go?
On your phone, you will just have an option of just scanning whatever item in the store. Imagine this. You're just walking around Costco like I do with my kids, with them jumping in and out of the cart and hitting other people's carts, and they make it very difficult to shop.
Okay.
But imagine you're walking through and you see something you want. You go, oh, this looks interesting. I think I might get this. And you take your phone out and you open up the app and you scan the little barcode, puts it into a cart, and then by the time you want to leave the store, you just walk out of the store. And now you already have made your purchases. You're not standing in a line waiting for anybody to ring you up. You've already made it on the app.
You just head to the exit with the other the regular Joes who stood in line for checkout.
Absolutely.
And you just, what do you show them the receipt on your phone?
I don't know exactly how it's going to function. They're still testing it out, but I imagine they'll probably do something similar to the receipt that they hand you in person. They'll just have
a digital copy. It makes
a digital
great
copy.
Sense. That's brilliant.
They'll see how many items you purchased. They'll count them up in your cart, and they'll let you out the door.
This is great.
Isn't that a great idea? Do you think? And here's the other thing it's going to do, because no company makes these kinds of changes unless it means more money for their bottom line.
Okay.
Like if they thought this was going to make shopping more convenient, but it was going to cost them a little bit, they're not rolling it out.
No, they're in business of making money.
That would be bad business.
Yeah.
I bet you this is going to help people spend more money. Don't you?
I was worried. Well, yeah, I think it will, but I worry about that because how do you change your mind if you've already scanned something and rung it up?
Well, you can return it.
Do you just delete it from your thing and put it back? Because here's my problem at Costco. I'm such an impulse buyer. I'm like, I could use that. Boom. I could use that. I could use that. And then I go get what I came for, and then I'm looking. Well, do I need another pair of khaki shorts? I got 5. It's a great price. I can't beat that price.
You can't beat the price.
But then I'm like, do I really need? So I have to sit with. I go for what I go for, but then all the impulse purchases, I like to walk around them for a few minutes.
Let it sink in.
And let them sink in and come back and revisit the idea. Do I really need this? Am I going to get in trouble when I come home with this?
Most Costco's are laid out in a similar fashion, I believe.
Yes, kind of a perimeter type shopping.
So how do you, what's your what's the meandering path through Costco? What do you do?
I come in
Because
and
you need to make yourself aware. I know exactly what you're talking about. In the center area where they have all the clothes and stuff, you need to make yourself aware of whatever the new items are or whatever the deals might be.
You bet.
So how
Greg
are you doing?
Norman golf shorts? What?
Yeah, you're right. I saw those the other day.
All right.
So what are you doing? Are you going in there? Are you walking in? You're making a beeline for that. You're checking it out. You're letting it sink in, and then you're getting back into the stream.
Yes, that's what I go in and I look. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And I think the things maybe I need these.
There's an invisible lazy river of shopping carts that floats around Costco that people get into, and once you get in there, you make stops along the way.
There is.
You stop at the produce. Then I buy muffins.
That's where I go.
Then I buy my steaks. Then I buy.
Seafoods.
Then I look at the rotisserie chickens and I go, no thanks. And then I walk 10 feet and I go back and I get one. I go,
I do that with the shrimp. That's what I do. That's how I do the shrimp.
I'm allergic to shellfish. I don't. But you're in this lazy river. I eventually meander my way out to the milk.
Yep.
And then I get my butter.
Cold room.
And then I go and I get my toilet paper.
Boom. It's like you're in my shoes.
So then, at what point are you going into the whirlpool in the center?
No, I do that first. That way I can revisit the decision making process. Because then if I've already,
it's not an impulse buy.
Well, it is. It's an impulse placement in my cart. Right? And then as I'm walking toward the checkout, I go past that section again, and I have the option of, you know what, I've changed my mind. I don't need a 6th pair of khaki shorts, and I put them back.
Oh, you put them back.
Yeah. The people who just leave them randomly around the store, because when you're self-check, when you're self-check, you can't say to the cashier, I've seen people, I changed my mind on this.
Sure.
When you get up to the checkout thing. But I like to put it back where I found it.
I'm pot committed. By the time I get to the checkout line,
you've made the decision in your heart.
I've never once said no thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Because there's an ego thing that's happening.
Okay.
Now I don't want I don't want people behind me to think that I'm like a person who just is wishy-washy. So I would never I would never do that in front of somebody else. It drives my wife crazy.
Wow.
It's also why I hate returning things.
Yeah.
She's always like, "Oh, just go return it." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I'll just donate it."
Do you really?
Because I'm not like a wishy-washy person who's just like, "Oh, I'm returning these pants; they don't fit." I don't know. There's just something in my head that I don't like to do it.
You like to be a man of conviction.
I hate returning things.
Right.
It's a horrible experience.
Laura?
I don't like doing it.
Laura's like, I like to return things.
How do you go in there, Laura? How do you shop at it?
I will stand in the aisle deliberating whether or not to get something until I've made a decision, and then once I've made that decision, but I'll be in the aisle for like 20 minutes.
You're blocking the lazy river?
No, not the lazy river. Off to the side.
Okay.
Yeah. You pull out of the stream.
Yeah. Oh my God, not the lazy river. Are you kidding?
But you'll just.
Who do you think I am?
You'll just stand there and look at a product?
Mm-hmm. I won't leave a section until I've made decisions about that section. And then when I get to the front, if I've made bad decisions at Costco, which usually I have, I'll just get rung up and I'll go, that was way more money than I wanted to spend. And I'm like, I'll drink that wine.
That's true.
You know, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll save it. It's not going to go to waste.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
I'm
one person. I can eat all this Costco stuff. Don't worry about it.
A lot of it freezes. I'm like you though, Spike. I will go. So you go into the lazy river, you get caught up in the stream, and then. But I will veer off into the center whirlpool.
Okay.
I'll look at the stuff, but I will not put it in my cart. I won't unless I'm like dead certain I need those Greg Norman pants. Those like very nice looking golf pants.
Wonderful.
Like baby blue. Which I did see the other day. I check swing on that one. I didn't do that one.
Okay.
But so I will scope everything out. Unbelievable prices. Unbelievable. So I'll scope everything out and then I walk back into the lazy river and then I go and get everything that I need, more than I need always.
Yeah.
And then I come back and on the backside, I listen to that little small still voice in my head. And if it's still calling to me, then I will go and I'll snap it up.
Interesting.
Yoink. I'll grab it. I'll put it in the cart. And then I'll make my way up and I'll buy it and instantly regret it.
After you bought it?
After I bought it.
Again, you don't like to return things,
and
so
I don't
now
return
it's forever.
It. And then I have to explain it to my wife, and she's like, why are you buying all this like stuff? And I'm like, I don't know, just because it's so cheap.
Yeah, well, it helps me to say, look, I love these. That's a great price. I'm going to get those. But then I go and get the other things, and I've changed gears. I've transitioned off of them, and then I see them in the cart. I'm like, okay, is it just as great an idea the second time around?
What's the dumbest impulse purchase you've ever made at Costco? Do you know?
Chicken salad.
Oh, that's
one.
That's a small thing.
No, it's a big thing. This one I told you almost killed my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Because I bought the Costco chicken salad, which is great if you're feeding a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're one guy eating chicken salad, I couldn't get through it before it spoiled.
But it's what do you want? $10?
Well, until you leave it in the fridge and don't throw it away, and your mother-in-law eats it and has to go to the hospital.
Oh, that's right.
That was the worst buying decision I ever made, and that's on me. It's
not
on
it risked
Costco.
Her life.
It did. It's not on Costco. That's on me.
That's on you.
That's on me.
How about you, Laura? It sounds like it might be in the wine section.
No, mine is actually really similar to Spike's. The tortellini pasta salad, delicious. But okay, here's the thing. I was very early to Costco and I misread the label. I thought that the price per pound was the price for the whole thing. And I thought, this is an amazing deal. I'll eat all week for like $7. Yeah. And I get up to checkout and it was like $25.
Right, it's 4 pounds of it.
Yeah. And I'm one person and I had to eat tortellini pasta salad, no matter how good it was, for like a week straight in earnest.
Yep.
Like forcing it down. And I'll never buy it again because it kind of ruined it for me.
It's like Schick Shadle now. You've tortellini'd yourself.
I don't allow myself to get anything from the deli section unless I'm going to a party because I do live alone and I will feel guilt to finish things like that doesn't freeze.
What, your cat doesn't like tortellini?
Oh, she does, but
we're talking about 4 or 5 pounds of tortellini, dude. That's a lot of tortellini.
I don't think food is actually like impulse purchases.
Okay.
Because it's so cheap. You could just throw it away.
No, I hear you.
You could just throw it away. What I mean impulse is like they have a lot of cool stuff in the middle that are like massive.
Yeah. Like inflatable surfboard kind
I
of
had to have my wife pull me away from a $500 arcade machine of NFL Blitz at Costco.
Yep.
Like I was trying to justify it, and I was like, yeah, I can't.
I've seen it.
But if you'd been alone and unprotected, you'd have brought that thing home.
100%.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that.
How do you even put that in a car?
I was in there with the kids one time, which is always dangerous in the summertime when all the stuff is in the center, like the swimming stuff for the kids. And I saw this big giant, and you could see it when it's so smart marketing. You walk in the doors, and they had this big giant inflatable, it's like 50 feet long, inflatable like water dragon. Have you seen this?
I haven't.
And it's hanging from the ceiling. It looks like a Chinese New Year or something. It's just massive dragon. And it looks
like on the lake or in the yard?
It's for in the yard. Oh. And the kids are supposed to be able to, it's like got like a water element to it. And
sure, you put a hose to the back end, it comes out the dragon's mouth, there's a water slide, boom.
Yeah, and it was actually a really great price. It was only like 50-something bucks or something. It was it was pretty great. And it was massive. I couldn't believe the size of it. And the kids, it's the kind of things that when the kids see it, see it and they just go, oh, this would be amazing. And I was like, you know what? We don't make a lot of impulse purchases for the kids, and this would be a fun. It was kicking off. So it was actually at the start of last summer.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this would be so exciting for them. And it was just me and the kids, which is dangerous because my wife.
Well, no, you went unsupervised. You went with 4 little. Yeah, Dad. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all pushers. They're like, do it. And so I'm like, should we get this, kids? Which is if they're never going to say, exercise some caution, Dad. Think about it.
That seems pretty impractical there, Pop.
Yeah, my 5-year-old goes, you know what, Dad? Give it a beat. Think about it. You've seen it? Look at the size of it. Yeah, it's massive.
Gosh.
So it's huge. And
you
it's
still
really
have it?
cool.
I'll buy it from you.
Well, here's the thing. It is a giant pain in the butt to set this thing up. So we end up buying it. Here's what they don't tell you. I just assume. You're looking at this picture right now. Laura, do we have a picture? Can you put this up on the website for people to see? Yeah, that's the same one.
Okay.
I just assume. You look how fun that looks with like the sprinkler coming down. They run through the tunnels and everything.
Underneath of it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looks amazing. What they don't tell you is you have to blow that entire thing up.
What?
And then there's a water element that comes that connects to it.
Okay.
But the whole dragon is filled with
air and inflatable.
Air.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. You couldn't fill it with water.
So then I get okay. You can see it now if you're watching you're streaming My Northwest or YouTube.
That's awesome.
So we buy the thing. We get it home. The kids, of course, immediately want to play in it.
Do you have to fill the fins with sand so it doesn't tip over?
The fins fill with water.
Okay.
Gallons
for
and
weight.
Of water.
Yeah, it's weight. Yeah.
So I buy the stupid thing, and I'm like, Father of the Year, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna go home, set it up for the kids, and
You're
then
a hero.
My wife's gonna, give me a kiss, and what an amazing dad. And she's like, what did you do? And so we get out into the yard, and now she sits in a chair and just watches me struggle with this for 2 hours. I'm trying to fill this stupid thing up with air.
Do you have a pump? Oh my God!
I'm pumping the thing. It's not working. I don't have an electric pump. I just have like a really big bike tire pump. I'm pumping. I'm literally sweating my face off.
Yeah.
Trying to blow this stupid thing up. The kids now are angry at me because it's taken me so long to get this thing inflated.
Sun's going down, day's over.
Yeah, they all got in their shorts immediately. They're just standing there with like a hose, a limp hose, waiting for me to hook this thing up. That was my worst impulse purchase there.
But it's only $20.
What is it now?
In 1997.
Okay, it's
On
come
clearance?
down quite a bit.
Okay.
Come down quite a
People
bit.
keep
Should've
returning them.
waited.
I paid $50 for it, but it was a good deal at the time. I thought it was a good deal at the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
The top negative review, by the way, on the Costco website is, I used a small pancake compressor to air this out, and it took quite a long time, probably close to an hour.
Oh, it took forever. It took forever. So we filled it up once, sat in my yard. My wife, every time you look out, you have a giant T-Rex in your yard.
Yeah,
She's
right.
just like, get that thing out of my yard. So I had to figure out how to fold it up and put it back in the garage. So it's been sitting in the garage. We've used it once, and the kids have never asked about it again.
Okay.
So it's going to probably disappear very soon, as all kid toys do.
You donate it to other children so they could have an enjoyable
I wouldn't do
afternoon.
that to the parents. I wouldn't do that to their
That's what
parents.
you tell your boys.
Oh, yeah. We
You
sent
never
it to
wanna- you never
the
wanna give
Chinese dragon farm.
Business into this thing again. But
Exactly.
Another review, 7 kids on a cul-de-sac waited patiently as I set the sprinkler up.
It's
Your experience was very common, it sounds like. with this
Yeah,
thing.
it's very showy and it's very fun to look at in a picture.
impulse buy. That's
But
the
an
Costco
impulse
thing,
buy.
man.
Yeah, that's what happens at Costco. So you got to watch out. But I think they're going to get a lot more impulse buys. If you just point a phone at a thing and go,
you're done?
oh, hey, I'll take it.
Skip the checkout?
Yeah, like they're eliminating the time spent between shopping and checkout, which is when all good decisions are happening. The immediate bad decisions of a scan and go is going to be devastating. But you know what? They're going to
Fast
sell a
track
lot
you.
more water dragons.
Yeah, they are.
For sure.
Especially with this new lower price.
Yeah.
You poor guy.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. What do we got next? What do we got coming up next? Some good stuff?
Coming up next, well, can we talk about the loss of recreational area because of this manhunt? We can talk about that.
Oh, yeah. They're searching for the guy in the enchantments. They closed it down, right?
Yeah, they did.
Closed that
Yeah,
down?
they did. And that's a pretty high, that's a high demand recreational area.
I think we're going to have more details in the news, and we got a lot of other stuff to cover as well. So, all right, stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
You listen to Seattle's morning news every morning. What do Charlie and Manda listen to every afternoon?
I absolutely love listening to John Curley because he makes you think, which I love.
John has a real special talent in being able to talk about the topics we care about, but he's always trying to make it fun. And you're going, oh, this guy actually gets it.
The John Curley Show, weekdays 3 to 7. Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio App.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m., subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty longevity, less charging you extra like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Hi, I'm Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. We're celebrating 100 years of Pella excellence with an offer as strong as our legacy. Get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, and enjoy 100 days with no interest and no payments. It's our way of saying thank you for letting us be a part of your homes for a century. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free consultation today. Pella, 100 years strong.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
KIRO News Radio, breaking news.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Gornillo. There is right now a massive police presence and an active fire at a building in Kent. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is live on the scene for us. This is near 212th Street and 68th Avenue. James.
Aaron, Kent Police and Puget Sound Fire say they were called here to the corner of 68th Avenue South and South 216th Street just before 10:30 this morning. This is a heavily industrial area and smoke is still coming from one of the buildings. So now we have an active fire inside one of these buildings here, although 3 hours after the call, firefighters still haven't entered the building. Pat Pollock with Puget Sound Fire tells us why.
It's a unfolding incident, and so they're treating it as a possible officer-involved shooting. We are standing by on 216th. We have not entered the building yet due to the fact that police have not been able to clear the building yet. Police will handle everything that's part of the shooting and the scenes of violence.
Now, so far, we don't have any information on the shooting. We're waiting to talk to a spokesman from either the King County Sheriff's Department or the Kent Police Department. When we have that information, we'll bring it to you live. Now in Kent, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, James. Turning now to the closing bell report, President Trump says the U.S. and China are in what he calls very good shape on a trade deal. He had his first phone call with President Xi since returning to office.
I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is.
More from CBS's Aaron Navarro at the White House.
President Trump indicating that there could be a resumption of those trade talks, with the hot topic being rare earth minerals. Those are minerals used for semiconductor chips, many crucial electronics. And in recent days, China has restricted exporting those to the United States.
In the meantime, the maker of Tide, Pampers, and Charmin is cutting jobs and likely raising prices.
It's got to be Tide. Procter & Gamble partly blames tariffs, which it says have consumers pulling back on their spending. The company will cut about 7,000 jobs, 6% of its workforce, over the next 2 years. 90% of what P&G sells is made in the U.S., but the company does import some raw ingredients and packaging materials from China. Its CEO says it will likely have to raise its prices in July, when President Trump's reciprocal tariffs are scheduled to kick in. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
At the close today on Wall Street, we saw the Dow lose 108 points, NASDAQ down 162, and the S&P 500 was also off 31 points. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic. This support is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Seeing some backups between Tacoma and Olympia. This is because of road work on I-5 and northbound at milepost 114. That's right near the Nisqually flyover. Again, seeing some backups right around JBLM. Also, I-5 southbound just north of Corson Avenue. Disabled vehicle blocking the HOV lane. Got some backups right around Boeing Field. 99 northbound and southbound at First Avenue South Bridge. All lanes will be closed later on this hour for boat traffic. And I-5 northbound, the off-ramp to Northeast 145th. A disabled vehicle blocking the right lane there. Global Credit Union is where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Gorgeous afternoon today. We are sunny with highs in the mid-70s. Right now looking at 70 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, I saw this video the other day. I thought it was really interesting and raises a very good question about what do you do when somebody oversteps celebrating some amazing sports achievement.
Okay.
So this happened at a high school sports track meet. There was a girl, and I'm trying to get the name of the high school. She was at South Plantation High School. No, that was a different. That was in Florida. Who did a backflip. This, let's see here. This was a 16-year-old girl, Clara Adams. This was at a California track meet. She wins the 400-meter gold medal.
State champion.
So she's very, very, think about how fast you have to be because there's a lot of kids in California who are running. So she's a 400-meter gold medal state champion. She finishes the race, and she goes off to the sideline, and in kind of a planned celebration. I'm not sure who handed it to her. I think her dad may have handed it to her, but I'm not sure. Somebody hands her a fire extinguisher, and we have the video of this right now. If you're watching on mynorthwest.com or you're watching on YouTube, you can see that she finishes the race, and then her dad is celebrating. She goes over and she pulls out a fire extinguisher from somewhere, and then she sprays off her feet because
they're her shoes. Yeah, because her shoes are on fire. That's how fast she is.
That's how fast she is. Exactly. She's like a DeLorean in Back to the Future, but it's just her feet. Very, very fast.
Okay.
So she does that, and then race officials come over and let her know that that's not cool. And not only is it not cool, that they're actually deciding to disqualify her because of excessive celebration. And her dad who was also her coach, not happy about it. And he had this to say. Listen to this. Oh, here we go.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration. And the CIF officials made that about them. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. The CIF booth went crazy.
And again, this is not prior to the race. This is after the race.
After the race and off the course.
She'd already done it. I mean, it's still on the field. She's on the field.
The infield, on the inside of the track.
Yeah. They loved it. But those few guys in those jackets, they took offense to it, didn't like it. and they made a decision based on emotions. There's a CIF rule saying you can't come over the wall, you can't be on the infield, which is a rule respected. But at this point, I explained before about being a coach and a father wearing the different hats. I saw an official grab my daughter by the arm. They were yelling in her face. When he grabbed her by the arm, I went over the wall at that point. I'm father now. I'm not coach anymore. I'm over the wall.
So the girl claims that she was just paying homage to an athlete, Maurice Green, an Olympic medalist who apparently did something similar.
When I heard, because it happened.
This is Maurice Green, who was asked about it.
And then people just started calling me, oh, this girl who just won the 400 redid your celebration. I was like, huh, what? If it was away from everyone and not really interfering with anybody, I would say reinstate her.
Clara Adams, the athlete in question, who had was stripped of her title, she was pretty emotional when she talked about it.
I worked so hard for that title. Even if everything goes in my favor, in regards to getting my title back, I'll still never get that moment back, standing on the podium as a sophomore. I'll never get that back because they took it from me.
What do you think about this, Spike?
I think it's overreaching by the
officials.
The officials. Yeah, thank you. California High School Athletic Administrator, whatever the governing body of California Interscholastic Athletics. I mean, the kid. They say it's poor unsportsmanlike conduct,
which it
right?
is.
Is it?
Yeah.
To celebrate, she wasn't doing it in someone else's face.
Well, she doesn't have to go in their face. It's not she's going up and putting a finger in their face. I'm number one. But she's spraying her feet off with a fire extinguisher.
I don't see the unsportsmanlike conduct of it. I just don't. I think it's, I wish kids, we tell kids to be expressive, to be individuals, to celebrate success. Kid works hard. Kid wins a state championship.
Yeah.
Right? And she's obviously a track enthusiast. She's honors an Olympian, what they did.
She must be a superstar if she assumed so much that she was going to win that she had the fire extinguisher handy. She must have assumed she was going to win.
Confident in herself.
Very confident.
Okay?
That's good.
And in case she is able to win the race, I want to celebrate the moment because that's how hot my feet are.
But don't you think that? Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Let's say your own kid is in track, phenomenal track athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting on the sidelines. They win a 400. And then they start spraying off their feet with a fire extinguisher. What are your thoughts?
It's I think it's a little much.
It's a little much?
It's a little much, but I don't think it's disqualifying. I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing. This kid has worked probably her whole young life. She's only 16.
Yeah,
but she's been training for a long time. You make sacrifices when you run track. You run early, you run late. You do it on top of your schoolwork. You spend a lot of time committed to your athleticism, probably as a means to an end. Maybe college education through scholarship, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's no disrespecting other. I don't think it's disrespectful to other athletes.
Let me ask you this then.
Okay.
As a further way to chip away at your point of view.
Okay.
But I think you're going to stand strong. Do you remember? I forget the guy's name, but do you remember that guy in the NFL who hid a cell phone in the uprights and he scored a touchdown? Laura, you can look up his name.
Terrell Owens?
Might have been. He hit a cell. Look up cell phone touchdown, Laura, and find out who this player was. NFL cell phone touchdown celebration. What was his name? He hit a cell phone pregame in the upright in the
padding on the crossbar.
Padding on the crossbar.
Yeah. I seem to remember this because the NFL made a rule change about
the NFL took it
made
seriously.
A rule change about using props.
Joe Horn.
Joe Horn. New Orleans Saints.
So he has this prop set aside, and he's going to go and he does this big thing. To me, the prop nature, I would have no problem with her excessively celebrating,
doing a dance.
Do it somersault. I don't care, whatever you want to do. Do the moonwalk.
Backflip on stage.
Do a backflip on stage.
Right.
You know what?
I gotcha.
Do the Dougie or whatever the modern dance is.
Okay, do the worm.
Do the worm.
Sure.
But the second you bring in, so it's a fire extinguisher, which actually does feel a little excessive to me. She's got a fire extinguisher spraying off her feet. What else are you going to be able to bring in? Now you're going to have kids who are like, hey, you know what? I saw this girl who used a fire extinguisher. I'm going to top that. How do I top that now?
I want a flaming ring. I want to jump through a flaming ring
exactly.
on the sideline.
And like you were saying a second ago, when these young athletes are working really, really hard.
Yeah.
She's racing against 8 other athletes or however many people were in that final. I mean,
they all worked hard.
There's probably 8 lanes, so there's probably 7 other girls she's racing against.
Sure.
They're all working their butts off. Only one of them gets to win.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't think that you should have two people stand on a pedestal. That's not what I'm advocating. But I do think she respects the sport enough to work so hard at it.
Right.
It feels a little disrespectful to the rest of the athletes out there that she's then taking that entire moment, and she did win it, so she deserves to be recognized.
Yeah.
But she is taking that moment. She's saying, like, I'm going to make it all about now spraying off my feet with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
For all the other athletes who work their butts off, and again, they're losers. I'm not saying that they should have an equal share of the attention.
I would think higher of the kid who went over and shook all the hands of the other competitors.
Like, act like you've been there before.
Yeah, that's. I've always taken great respect for athletes. Like, I always hated Penn State because I went to Maryland.
Yeah.
But when Penn State athletes, they score a touchdown, they hand the ball to the referee, and they go back to their sideline. Act like you've been there.
It looks so good.
It looks great.
It looks so great.
It really does.
And I love it when NFL guys, like, there's a thing now in the NFL where, like, every time they make a good defensive play, all the defenders run down to the field.
Run down to the field, and they all
get in front of
pose
the
for camera. Yeah.
I cringe every time I see that.
Yeah.
Seahawks do it. Everybody does it. Every time I see that, I go, like, what is this, the first time you made a play in the NFL? Just walk off the field. Like, there's nothing cooler than a pitcher who does a great job and then just coolly walks off the field. Shrugs it off.
Yeah, but it's a young man's game these days, and it's a younger audience that they're after. And when you talk about the NFL, I'm with you. But the NFL, it's entertainment first and foremost. It's a TV package first and foremost. Because the NFL banned celebrations, and they called it the No Fun League. That's what NFL stood for. And they brought back celebrations. You couldn't do. It was like the Fun Bunch from the Washington Redskins. Used to all get together and do this choreographed thing, and the NFL banned it.
It's like a joke now, though. They're all doing like river dance together.
I know. Yeah, they do choreographed dance moves from videos, and they're all rowing a canoe, and this guy's bowling and surfing and blah 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 blah.
And it looks stupid.
It looks a bit weird.
It looks weird. Not just a bit weird. It looks.
I've seen video of high school teams that are doing this on the sidelines nowadays.
Well, I know, and
now high school athletes bringing out fire
spraying your feet off with stuff.
But it's being stripped of your title. The just punishment. I mean, for excessive celebration.
Here's what I say. I think she crossed the line, and I think they crossed the line in their response.
Okay. Yeah, both could have been a little better in how they handled it.
Both could have been better.
There you go.
I don't know what the response. It's a state championship. There's no way.
Is there something in a rule book that says don't bring a prop, don't celebrate with a prop, celebrate to your heart's content, don't celebrate with a prop?
She's only a sophomore, so like maybe her junior year, she's going to be penalized in some way.
I don't know.
Like maybe for the first race of the season,
they'll make her start 10 feet further back for the rest of the team.
She probably still wins. She's very good. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The closing bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin.
I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
This could be the oddest gift anyone's ever given me.
But I'll bet you use it.
When the time is right, I suppose.
That's the idea.
A plunger.
An Apollo plumbing plunger.
Free for me?
Actually, free to everyone we visit.
Because?
We believe some things you can do on your own.
And if this plunger can't fix it?
Apollo Plumbing will.
Just like that.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
Wouldn't you rather I just call?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
But for a simple backup?
Something I can solve myself?
Try your free plunger.
I'll admit it's kind of spiffy.
Apply a little pressure.
And if it still won't clear?
Call Apollo Plumbing.
The Ready Right Now plumbers.
Our big blue trucks come stocked full of fixes.
And a plunger wielding plumber.
A clean screen trained and trustworthy Apollo plumber.
They come in a jiffy?
Arriving when promised to put plumbing problems in your past.
And give me a free plunger.
That too.
You know, I kind of like this plunger.
I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Just like Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
All right, welcome back to the show. You know, unfortunately, Seattle has this little habit. The Northwest has this little habit. We look to our neighbors to the south. We say, hey, what are the people down in San Francisco doing? Or what are people down in Portland doing? Let's do everything that they're doing, and let's redo it here in Seattle and see if we do it better. See if we can make it work.
We had Gold State envy, I used to call it. Inslee had it worse than anybody,
way to describe
right?
it.
Golden State envy.
Golden State envy, yeah.
Yep.
And gold, the whole world desires it. You know what that's from?
No.
The Edge. You ever see The Edge?
With
Alec. You never seen The Edge?
Is that Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins?
Yes.
There's a scene in that movie. Quick side, Laura, have you seen The Edge? No, I haven't seen it.
No, I've not seen The Edge.
It's an unbelievable movie. Very, very good. You should see it, Laura. It's very, very. If you like scary bear movies, do you like scary bear movies?
Who doesn't love scary bear movies?
Okay, then you would love The Edge. Absolutely. But there's a scene where they're out there trying to make their way in the world and obviously trying to feed themselves because they're stuck in the middle of nowhere. And Anthony Hopkins takes off this little piece of this gold watch that he got, and he dangles this tiny little piece of gold into the river to try to catch one of these beautiful, it's freezing cold and everything. He's trying to catch one of these like beautiful river salmon up there in Alaska. And Alec Baldwin's like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "It's gold. You know, the fish will catch. The whole world desires it." So just a great quote.
Right.
But your quote made me think of it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So California, Golden State, is attempted to do this thing. They were actually looking into it. They have made a U-turn. City of San Francisco has said that they're no longer going to do this. They were trying to attempt to investigate doing this and building it up and then just kind of implementing it as quickly as they could. But when people realized what they were trying to do, they quickly had to say, "Oh, egg on our face. We're not going to do this." But San Francisco, like most major cities, wants to come up with all sorts of revenue that they possibly can.
Sure, you bet.
And they were looking for extra money for their minibus and rail services. Why is it always rail? And rail services. And city officials were like, "Hey, what's a revenue stream that we're not thinking of? What's the thing that we can do right now to homeowners?" They always go to homeowners.
Sure. Yeah.
How can we get more money? How can we squeeze more out of that lemon and make some lemonade? And so they decided, they took the look around. They said, "Hey, you know what these homeowners all have in common that they're not being charged for right now, at least not according to these city officials, is driveways." They said, "What if we go around and for every one of these houses," you've been to San Francisco.
Sure.
Tightly packed in.
Very, very dense.
They have these things. They don't even call them driveways. They actually call them cutouts. Did you know that in San Francisco?
I did not.
They call them curb cuts. And that's where between the curb, where you might walk, or park your car in the little walkway, and then your house, there's usually space for like a car to fit in there. We would call it a driveway. I don't know why they call it a curb cut. They call it a curb cut. They have 196,000 of these, they estimate, in the city of San Francisco.
Okay.
So they were like, what if we charge each one of these ritzy homeowners, because they all got so much money, what if we charge them each $100 a year as a tax on their driveways? And we'll just tax them. And they can't do anything about it because we're in charge.
Wait a minute. These are homeowners.
Yes.
And the curb cut or driveway is on their property.
Correct.
Isn't that double dipping? Don't they already pay property taxes on that lot, on what they own?
Well, presumably.
On the home that they own?
Presumably,
right?
yes.
I mean, California's, one stage short of crazy in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But if, I get that they need to generate revenue. And if this is a luxury item, a driveway, because you're keeping people off the streets. Okay, they see it as a luxury.
They said this is a luxury item, and they said anyone who owned property that has a curb cut in the public sidewalk in front of their driveway would have had to pay this fee. An economic analysis from the city estimated that San Francisco has 196,000 curb cuts, and it would generate $19.6 million annually. And they basically said that you're taking money away from people who can't afford to have driveways by having a driveway. Now, the math there, or the logic there doesn't make
any sense at all. I see what you're doing is you're freeing up public parking for folks who don't have curb cutouts.
San Francisco notoriously has like the worst parking.
Right.
In the entire
so
country.
if I've got a driveway, I'm not using up. I should get a tax credit.
Yeah.
For having a driveway because I'm not using up curb space.
See, but you're smart. You're thinking logically. They're not thinking logically.
Right. And if I've got a driveway in my home, it increases the assessed value of my home.
Yep.
Which is just like a pool would. It increases the assessed value, which is what my property tax is based on. So I'm already being taxed on having a driveway.
100%.
It increased my property tax.
100%.
When they actually considered double dipping on people and charging people a fee to not take up public parking on curbs.
And then when it was revealed, San Francisco Chronicle found out about it and wrote a story on it.
The sun shining bright light of
Exactly. And the city of San Francisco, the city officials went, whoa.
We were just looking at it.
We're just kidding.
We're just looking. We were just
kidding.
We were just looking to see what a bad idea was.
I hesitated.
And we agree.
I'm sad I even brought it up because now Seattle's going to hear this. City officials in Seattle are going to go, hey, there's a lot of driveways around here.
Yeah, but what you have to see this as a return to common sense.
Spike.
San Francisco thought who they were for a moment. We're crazy people. Wait a minute.
I like it.
Let's veer back let's pull over toward common sense and park here.
I hope you're right.
I hope so too.
I hope you're right. All right, we got a lot more coming up. I've got a problem in my backyard. I need your help solving it.
Okay.
It rhymes with bees. We'll talk about it next. We'll be right back.
Problem.
When you're hiring, Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. You may have known us for our unique cabinet refacing projects, but I'd like to introduce our full bathroom remodeling service. New tub, shower, floors, counters, and of course cabinetry. Same commitment to quality and value, same full service, just another way to serve the folks of Puget Sound. Call today for a free in-home consultation. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. For more than 65 years, our service technicians at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning have been proud to offer the home comfort solutions that your family needs. This summer, trust the team at Bob's to equip you with peace of mind, providing efficient service and expert knowledge to keep you safe and comfortable in your home. While temperatures may be on the rise, our service solutions remain steady and affordable. Plus, we'll provide you with a new filter replacement at each AC maintenance. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Your family's comfort is our family's business.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Elon Musk and President Trump took their spat public today.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if it went well anymore. I was surprised.
I'm Linda Kenyon at the White House. The feud is escalating between President Trump and Elon Musk after Musk called the president's so-called Big Beautiful Bill an abomination. In the Oval Office, Trump said he was disappointed in Elon and then lashed out on Truth Social, saying the former head of the Department of Government Efficiency, quote, just went crazy. He also threatened the head of Tesla, posting, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts.
The Supreme Court today sided sided with an Ohio woman who sued her employer for reverse discrimination. Here's Michael Wallace.
Marlene Ames had worked for the Ohio Department of Youth Services for 30 years when she applied for a promotion. The job went to a gay person. Then she was demoted and replaced by another gay person.
They put a 25-year-old man with less than 3 years of service to do my job.
Ames' salary was cut in half.
It was humiliating going to work.
The justices ruled unanimously that civil rights law draws no distinction between members of majority or minority groups. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Another case involved Mexico's lawsuit against U.S. gun makers, accusing them of stoking cartel violence. CBS's Jan Crawford.
If the court had adopted that rationale, this would have been a major case of great significance because it could have opened up gun makers to liability in other contexts, kind of the slippery slope concern.
A Massachusetts high school student arrested by ICE agents on his way to volleyball practice has been released from custody. Agents admitted his father was the intended target. The 18-year-old came to the U.S. from Brazil when he was just 7. Natalie Brand reports the president's latest travel ban is likely to end up in the courts.
A lot of people are talking about it's reminiscent of the travel bans from the first Trump administration, which were subject to a lot of litigation. There were not only legal challenges, but they sparked mass protests nationwide, a lot of confusion at the airports.
Israel struck Hezbollah targets in South Beirut today. Lebanon accuses it of violating the ceasefire. The Trump administration has slapped sanctions on 4 judges at the International Criminal Court over its investigation into alleged war crimes by Israel in Gaza. The State Department says it will impose travel bans on the judges. Investors on Wall Street were not relieved by President Trump's call with China's president today on tariffs. The Dow finishing the day 108 points lower. This is CBS News.
A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive can make bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Coming up, gunshots and a fire at a building in Kent. We are live on the scene, but first we go to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. And this report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. We have some road work down in the JBLM area. This is on I-5 northbound near to the Nisqually flyover. That is what has you slow going right now approaching JBLM. Also slow from Tacoma to Olympia going southbound. That's about a 48-minute drive, but that is just your typical slowdown for this time of day. Looking at a 45-minute trip now from Linwood to Seattle. Starts to slow down as you reach Lake City Way, and then after you cross the Ship Canal Bridge, still going into downtown. Clears up once you reach Boeing Field. Bellevue to Renton, that is a 32-minute drive. Lake bridges are wide open, and a pretty smooth drive up north into Everett from Seattle or Bellevue. Through June, save $750 per window and $1,500 per door with leak armor installation only from Lake Washington Windows. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com, a name you can trust.
KIRO News Radio, continuing coverage.
And good afternoon. I'm Aaron Guarnello. We continue to follow this massive police presence and an active fire. This is at a building in Kent, right near 216th Street and 68th Avenue. James Lynch is there live. James, what do you know?
Well, Aaron, I can tell you now there are at least 2 SWAT teams here on this scene. They do have this building surrounded. They've used battle rams to open up a garage in the back of the building and also the front of the building, presumably to try to get out some of the smoke that is inside that is hampering them from getting inside. We're told this all happened at about 10:30 this morning when firefighters and police got a call to report to this location for a fire and a disgruntled employee. Workers say he's a 65-year-old man who was recently terminated and then returned to the building this morning. They have been waiting for smoke to clear so they can see if he's inside. After that officer-involved shooting, no one here seems to be sure whether he has been shot or not, or if he's still alive. They're still waiting for the smoke to clear. Meanwhile, the fire department has been largely moved out of this area. One firefighter told me that they are giving police room to do their work, and as soon as they're done, they will be called in to go ahead and finish fighting this fire. For the time being, they tell me that the sprinkler system is on inside the building, so it is holding the fire at bay, but will likely not be able to extinguish it. Reporting live in Kent, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, James. Now, for the first time, we are hearing from the father at the center of that manhunt around Chelan County. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the recordings of the court custody battle for Travis Decker.
This was the last-second plea from Travis Decker for a judge not to change the parenting plan with his ex-wife, which took away his overnights with his 3 daughters.
Your Honor, I think it's important that these girls get the opportunity to be with their dad.
Whitney Decker filed a motion to change custody temporarily, saying Travis was homeless after transitioning out of the military, so he often took the kids camping overnights. 7 months after that court hearing, deputies found the bodies of all 3 girls at a campground near Leavenworth. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And Decker is still missing today. People living in remote areas are now being told to lock their doors, specifically in Chelan, Kittitas, King, Snohomish, and Okanagan counties. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny today with highs in the mid-70s, even warmer for tomorrow. Right now, 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. You poor, poor people. Only 1 hour left with us. Only one little tiny hour. Less than an hour now. 53 minutes. But don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow. Fridays are great. Here's the thing. Can we look ahead to Friday? Is this confirmed, Laura? Is this all set up? All right. This is exciting. And
tomorrow will be Friday. Laura's got that put together for us.
Laura has
well done, Laura.
given me the thumbs up. Friday is happening.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is really cool. We had a guy on with us, what was it, a week ago? Last week? Earlier? Was it just this week? What was the B guy? Where's the B guy on with us? Monday? Tuesday? Let's call it last week.
It's been a long week, buddy.
It's been a long week.
It's been a week this week.
I want to say it was Monday. If not, it was Friday.
My God, it was Monday.
Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Seems like a long time ago.
Like a bee.
Just like a bee. That's exactly right. We had a guy whose name is Quentin French. Something French. What's his last name?
Guillaume.
Guillaume. Laura would know. Guillaume. Quentin Guillaume. He's a French beekeeper, although he lives here in Seattle now. And he came on to talk about, earlier this week, we had a bunch of bees.
Whatcom County bee spill.
The
famous Whatcom County bee spill, as it's become to be called.
Which was Friday of last week. And then now they have, earlier this week we found out that it wasn't 250 million.
No,
it was actually
early estimates were a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And that was Bee-Gate, and that was a whole thing.
Exactly. So we had him on to talk about bees, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, in the middle of our conversation, we were also discussing how there is this trend out there that people actually get stung for their health, like arthritic health and different things. You can get stung. And it sends, I don't know how it all works, but your body sends stuff.
White blood cells come to fight the foreign entity of a bee sting, the venom of a bee sting.
T cells, is that what that's called?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor.
But Quentin knew, and he offered to.
He's going to sting us.
And sting us.
Not himself, but with bees.
I hope not. I hope with a bee. Did we clarify that, Laura? Is these real bees?
He came in dressed like a bee, and he's like, I'm ready.
He said he's bringing honey and bees.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
So he's going to
do with that what you will.
He's going to come in tomorrow, and he's going to sting us. And you don't have any problem being stung. You're not allergic?
I'm not allergic.
I'm not allergic.
I'm not a fan, but I'm willing to go for the team.
Me too.
Yeah. There you go.
Because number one, it's a good lesson to people out there. Like, what do you do when you get stung?
Sure.
It's a public service thing. 2, I've been doing a lot of yard work lately, and I got to be honest. My hands are hurting.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, like a little bee sting, pick me right up.
Yeah. And Quentin will know what to do and how to help us and show us the benefits. Yeah.
So he's going to sting us live on the air tomorrow. I am nervous about what my reaction's going to be. I don't want it to be I want it to be a manly reaction. I'm worried that I won't have a manly reaction.
What is a manly reaction to being stung by a bee?
First,
you
grunt.
Swear. Well, we can't swear in there, but a grunt would be appropriate. If I went, ugh, stupid bee.
I whimper.
That's what I'm worried that I'm going to do.
I have full faith in my ability to fold up like a chair.
Do you think you're going to have a less than manly reaction?
I can almost guarantee it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to just be me. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to put on a brave face, front. I'm not going to front for these nice people.
No, I will front all day.
Do it, buddy.
Because I don't. What I don't want to do is I want to sound like a.
Ow! Quentin!
I got stung.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that tomorrow. What time are we getting stung, Laura? What?
I'm hoping for 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. All right. So you can watch us live on mynorthwest.com or on YouTube. We're doing this for you. We're subjecting ourselves to bodily harm just so you can. But again, it's a PSA. There's some good stuff out there.
If we can help a few people learn the value of a good bee sting.
So this is all ironic that this is all happening right now because my wife yesterday, she wasn't at the Mariners game with us last night. I took my son to the game as we have talked about, aforementioned in the show. So we're sitting there in the game, and I want to say, I can actually pull up the text chain right now. I can tell you exactly when it was. I want to say it was probably like 8-something. And I get this text from my wife, and I pass it off as kind of okay, whatever. I don't really even, 7:30, she sent me this. She says, bees built a hive in one of the kids' birdhouses. It's very big and scary. Now, my wife is like scared to death of tiny spiders. So I'm like, this is all like, I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
There you go. Yep, you're filtering it through what is it now?
Yeah, like what is big and scary for my wife when it comes to bugs and insects? Any tiny little thing, like, it's a big deal. And so I'm like, okay, I'll deal with it, tomorrow because I'm going to get home very late. I'm not going to fight bees in the dark. That's dumb. So I get up this morning and she goes, you got to go see that beehive. It's in we hung a bunch of birdhouses.
Birdhouses.
Kids make birdhouses.
Okay, birdhouses. And these bees have taken on? They've moved in?
I did not even know this was a thing that bees can do. I'm used to bees at the, like in your apex of your roof, like up there at the, under your
apex, that's it. Yeah, the peak of your,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
In the overhang and stuff, I'm used to hornets' nests and wasps. Oftentimes you see wasps.
Oh, yeah.
Up there.
They build it. Yeah, okay. That I've seen.
And they're usually tiny. I'm always amazed at how many they can get in there. They must be comfortable with close quarters.
Sure.
And so I'm always amazed. But I'll tell you what, I actually took a video of this. And if you're watching on mynorthwest.com or you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. Laura, can you pull this video up? This is me this morning. I'm walking. This is in my backyard. And I'm walking towards a birdhouse, which has been completely, and it looked like something out of an alien movie.
Okay.
Like they have completely taken over. This is post-apocalyptic almost, and now a beehive has happened there.
Because what I'm looking at is you and your backyard looks a lot like you in the show.
It does. Well, we haven't pulled it up yet.
Oh, that
I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize the bees could do this. I didn't even realize that they could literally take over a thing and turn it into something else. And they took what was the base. The base was a birdhouse.
Okay.
And they have now surrounded it in whatever that stuff is, and it almost looks like a mummy. You know what I'm talking about?
It almost looks like paper.
It looks like paper.
Yeah, I know, because there's mud wasps that build with mud.
It looks like a paper lantern.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But it's bees. Do we have this, Laura, or do we don't have this yet?
Just a minute.
Okay, we're going to have it in just a minute. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with this, and so my idea was, I'm going to go, because you can get wasp spray and you can get yellow jacket spray.
Yeah, doesn't that just anger them?
They
go bananas when that happens.
It's going to go bananas. Yeah. And this is like 10, like probably 15 feet off of my back door.
Oh, wow.
Back
Okay,
deck.
yeah. You don't want an angry swarm.
Well, I don't want it, but if I have to have it, I'll do it.
These sound like, the things that build those paper nests. Are those bees? Are those yellow jackets? Are those
I think they're yellow
wasps?
jackets. I think they're yellow jackets. I got up pretty close to them. It was in the morning. They were docile because I think they were still sleeping.
Still chilly, yeah.
But I went in there.
Is this audio safe to air?
The audio is safe to air if we wanted to, but
you won't be screaming like a little girl? That's what I'd be doing.
All right, let's put the video up here. This is me walking towards.
Okay, you've got a safety cone. There it is. Oh, there we go. Good, thank you, Laura.
Just pointed this out to me. This is right behind my house. This used to be a bird's nest, and now it looks like it's
ouch,
turned into. Look at this. Look at that. You see it?
Okay, yes. Wow. Look at that. Oh, there's barely a birdhouse to be seen.
It's just enough to look weird.
It looks like an HBO series. Was it The Last of Us? Looks like your birdhouse is now The Last of Us, beehive. Wow. Wow, that's big. Birdhouse about a foot tall, you think, by diameter-wise, right? About a foot tall, about 10 inches across at its peak?
Yep.
Take care of this. And it is almost completely engulfed in this hive material.
There's just enough to see the frame of the front of the birdhouse.
Yeah.
Trying to get closer to it here.
Okay.
Why? Why are you trying to get closer?
Well, I want to get a good angle so you guys can see the bees. They're literally.
Wow, look at them. Okay. Wow, that's a great video.
Isn't that cool?
Are you wearing some kind of protective suit when you're doing this?
No, I'm actually in sandals when I'm doing this.
You're an adventure nut, man.
No. My son behind me, you can't hear it, but he just offered to shoot it with a Nerf gun.
No!
While I'm standing there, he goes, Dad, I'm going to shoot it.
Is he first in line for the inheritance? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. unfortunately.
Wow. Wow, look at that.
So I'm not sure
how long has that been under process?
Here's my. I didn't even notice it. I'm out there all the time. You saw the hitting net. That's where we practice baseball back there.
Wow. Okay. What do you do now?
So what do I do now? So I'm thinking I have two options. I could smoke him out. This is what I'm going to ask Quentin tomorrow.
Okay.
I can smoke
You're not
him
gonna
out.
mess with it until he gets here and then tells you what to do, right?
Well, my wife wants it handled today.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I don't know what to do.
You can reach out to him. He's coming in tomorrow.
He's coming in tomorrow to sting us.
Yeah, sting us. Let's maybe we reach out to him today and ask what to do, or maybe somebody in the audience knows.
Here's a really good idea I had during breakfast.
Okay, flamethrower.
That's not a horrible idea, except I don't think it's going to burn as fast. And then you got flying burning bees.
Yeah.
It's been very dry
plus, there's a whole
lately.
forest there. That's not
worried
going to work.
about
No, never mind.
A giant black bag, like a garbage bag, a construction site garbage bag.
Okay.
I have a bunch of
that's what
those.
you mean. Yeah, the hefty monster.
I lift it up around it very quietly.
Okay.
Very, very quietly.
Okay.
And then I get my son to use some garden shears and snip them.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you want to drop the hive into a plastic bag?
Well, it's
okay.
already hanging. It's already hanging from a birdhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, here's a problem. If he doesn't get it with one,
and he just nicks the thing and
if he's
wakes them
gnawing
up
at it and he does nothing, and then now they realize that they're under attack. Now I'm sitting out there holding the plastic bag
right,
around
and
these guys.
And he's now frantically snipping where your fingers are.
Yeah. Which is going to pale in comparison to the thousands of bee stings
I don't
that I'm going
know.
to get. Because yellow jackets don't die when they sting you.
No, they keep coming.
They keep coming.
9-finger Jake.
The problem is, can I get the plastic bag up and around them in time?
Boy, we need some expertise in this. We really do.
And if people
we
have
need some
suggestions,
expertise. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's get to the vast research department that is this show's audience.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Yeah.
That's Dwight Schrute trying to capture a bat.
Oh my God.
Sort of an example of
how wrong
you might need to prepare.
It could go like that. I guess it could go like that. That's Dwight wrapping a plastic bag around Meredith's head. He did get the bat, though, but she ended up getting rabies.
Was there a bat on her head?
So that's the downside. She ended up getting rabies.
Oh.
I don't know. I think the plastic bag right now is the best.
I can see the logic in it. I can see the logic in giving yourself a way to seal that hive off quickly.
Close it up.
You get the cinch sack baggies.
Well, the problem with that is those never seal all the way.
Yeah, but you can draw it closed really quickly.
That's true.
Right?
That's not a bad idea. I could draw it up,
get around
cinch
it around, right?
And then just leave it.
Right. There you go.
And then
you could slowly and carefully make one clean cut.
Cut the branch.
Yeah.
That they're
I like
to
taking the branch. You're gonna lose. You don't want the house back. You're losing the house, right?
The house is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to get that house back. And you know what? God bless them. Those bees worked hard. That's an amazing creation.
Seems like, now, do you relocate them?
Heck no. I'm not going to relocate
You don't want to
them.
take them out to the deep forest so they can play with other wasps? And
No, I told you last summer I was clearing the
yellow
woods.
jackets?
Did I tell you about this? Last summer I was clearing those very same woods, just working, keeping the brush down. And I hit a yellow jacket.
You did tell me this, and you came running in the house.
And I ran in the house.
Right,
and all my kids are in the backyard playing in that stupid dragon that I bought. They were.
Really?
They're playing in it.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
it was that same summer, and everyone ran inside as fast as
Oh,
we.
you did tell me this, and they swarmed for like hours.
They swarmed for hours, and I had the gas-powered brush cutter back there, just running for hours.
Yeah. Wow.
And we were all scared to death, just sitting inside.
So your place is prone to these little monsters, these winged beasts.
Yeah.
of
So
evil.
I want to make sure I do it the right way. I want to get rid of them.
That's stuff. I think you might be on something with the plastic bag.
I think the plastic bag's a good idea. I could try smoking them out, but I think that only works on honeybees. Do you know why that works on honeybees when you smoke a bee out? Because the bees, the instinct that they have when there's smoke is that there's a forest fire. And honeybees, their most important thing, I mean, their raison d'etre is to protect the honey.
Okay.
And so what they do is they engorge themselves on honey. Because you know what honey is made of?
Bee vomit.
Bee vomit.
Yeah.
So they just...
It's the best part of it.
Eat it back up.
Yeah.
They eat the bee vomit, otherwise known as honey.
Mm-hmm.
They ingest so much of it, they get a sugar high, and then they get very lackadaisical, and they get very lazy. Did you know that?
I did not.
That's the actual reason why. So when you smoke them out,
they get
their
thrown.
evolutionary instinct kicks in. They say,
Okay.
protect the hive, protect the honey. That's our number one commodity.
Smart.
So they ingest it all. We can just vomit it up later. That's what they're thinking.
Sure.
What they don't realize is somebody's just going to come and collect them, and they're just like taking you away. That's
wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
What a cool thing to know, though. Like,
I'm looking
figured that out?
I'm looking forward to Quentin coming in tomorrow and stinging us. I am now. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Me too. It's going to be great.
I've never looked forward to a stinging more
ever
than I am right now.
And now I'm actually you've won me over.
Maybe he can lend
careful.
me a beekeeper suit.
A suit. Yeah, man. That's not a bad idea.
Or at least don't go out there in sandals.
Maybe cover yourself in trash bags.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Build your own piece.
But then I can't see, and I just like slam my head into a tree. And my wife's like, "What is Jake doing? Why is he laying in the woods?
Look, they're building a hive on him. That's lovely.
Why is he laying in the woods in a trash bag? Just knocked out as bees are stinging my knocked out unconscious body.
No, just film it for us, okay?
Should I film it? All right,
sure,
I'll film it.
Of course, film it. It's going to be great. This is great stuff.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I think I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to try it tonight and see what happens. I'll have a story for Quentin tomorrow and see if he thinks it was a good or a bad idea. I guess if I don't show up tomorrow, it's because the bees got me, and they killed me and took me away.
Don't do that.
I hope that doesn't happen. All right, really fast before we get to the commercial break. Did you see this? Michael Moore. Have you seen this?
Oh my gosh!
Michael Moore, the filmmaker.
I saw this.
He has come up with, because he's such an innovator, he's come up with his own Pledge of Allegiance. He wants to get rid of the one that we've all grown up saying.
He thinks it's time to be rewritten.
He thinks he wants it to be rewritten.
Yeah, that's Michael Moore's his new pledge.
So he says he wants to change the Pledge of Allegiance, and he wants to remove. Of course, he wants to remove the reference to God.
Under God, yeah.
That godless heathen. And he wants to. I mean, I don't know. I assume he's not a believer. If he wants to get rid of that,
I think. Well, it's funny.
I don't know
it's
that
how
he's
you frame this argument.
Allegedly.
It's how you frame the argument, though. It's how you frame the argument. He wants to be more inclusive of those who are not believers. That's his argument.
Was he going to scrap all of our currency as well? Here's what he says he wants it to be. Here's the original Pledge of Allegiance. Do you know the original Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for
all.
You know what I found out recently, which I was just very pleasantly surprised by?
What?
My kid's school still says this every single morning. They stand,
face the flag, hand over the heart,
flag, and
right?
they say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, we did it. They do it now.
I'm just glad that they're still do stuff like that, because when I was a kid, we did that all the time, and I thought it was so cool as a kid. I didn't really even think of it much of as a kid.
No, it's what you do. It's part of being American.
It's part of being an American,
right.
And I like things that make us all American and make us feel like we're one nation. And the idea that they still do that, I guess I had just kind of assumed somewhere along the way, stupidly, that this had fallen out of fashion and that schools weren't doing this.
Sure.
I know some schools don't do it, but my kid's school still does it.
Okay, good.
And it pleased me.
Good.
I was very proud of the school, and I was very happy that they were doing it. Here's Michael Moore's new Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the people of the United States of America and to the democracy for which we all stand. One person, one vote, one nation, part of one world, everyone, ! A seat at the table, everyone, a slice of pie, with liberty and justice, equality and kindness, and the pursuit of happiness for all. That's Michael Moore's. Of course he mentions pie.
And a seat at the table. I think the rest is all fluff. He just wants pie.
He just wants pie. He's actually just hungry.
I love the intent behind it, but that's how my side always gets into trouble. Best of intentions, and we just go so far afield into Luluville, into Looney Town.
Why can't he just say, "Hey, you know what the Pledge of Allegiance is? Awesome."
It is awesome.
And we all say it.
The under God was added, when it was added in '54.
Okay.
Right? Eisenhower added under God.
Okay.
It used to be just I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, the people of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
I didn't realize it'd be added in '52.
We added it in '54. And it was to fight the commie horde. Okay. Eisenhower added after World War II to say that capitalism in America was better than communism.
You know what I say?
The godless communists of the Soviet Union.
You know what I say about that?
Amen.
God bless him.
God bless him.
That's fantastic. Yep. I like it.
I
like that Pledge of Allegiance.
And that's when they added "In God We Trust" to the money.
In 52,
54, something like that. But it was post-World War II, when it was the Red Scare, and the communist horde was on the march, Cold War. That's when we decided to become one nation under God.
I like it.
But I see his point about, there are atheist people who don't, God isn't for them, and they're Americans too.
It wasn't just in 54. We've had God references all the way back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To the founding. But very interesting about that. But Michael Moore, he loves pie. You can see it in his happy eyes
puffy cheeks,
when he thinks about pie.
His bloated face.
Who doesn't love pie?
His cholesterol that's literally pours from his skin. That's how you can tell.
Yum.
That's his love for pie.
Yum.
And a seat at the table.
A seat at the table to eat pie.
Probably 2 seats on a plane. And pie.
They should have pie on planes. All right.
I'd fly, though. I'd fly more with pie.
So would I. Fly with pie. We have a lot more coming up. We got your text messages. We've got a ton of stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
For many years now, Heritage Homecraft has been making stunning kitchens for the folks of Puget Sound. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. When we resurface your existing cabinet boxes, install custom-built cabinet doors, and tailored quartz countertops, it'll transform any old, outdated kitchen into the showpiece of your home as it ought to be. All done in about a week without the mess, hassle, time, and expense of a complete tear-out. Not a national chain, your new kitchen is designed, created, and installed by a team of dedicated craftspeople who live and work here in the Pacific Northwest. Have one of our professional representatives out for a free in-home consultation. We'll bring the showroom to you and leave you with an exact quote for your new kitchen. I promise you'll be amazed by the quality and transformation. Just ask any one of our thousands of satisfied customers. If you call today, there's still time to have your new kitchen installed before summer. Call today, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio, continuing coverage.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We continue to monitor an ongoing situation in Kent. This is where SWAT and fire crews say they are on the scene of a shooting inside a workplace. We are getting reports that a disgruntled employee may have opened fire there. We do have a reporter on the scene, and we will continue to follow this story as it develops. We are now hearing chilling courtroom audio from the man at the center of this week's tragedy in Chelan County. At a hearing in September, Travis Decker pleaded with the judge to let him keep his overnight visit with his 3 daughters.
Every time I've had the girls, we have been in campsites in national forests and paid campsites.
And now police say it was at one of those campsites near Leavenworth that Decker's accused of murdering his daughters. A manhunt for him is now in its 4th day. An escalating rift between President Trump and CEO Elon Musk cratered Tesla's stock today.
President Trump responded to Musk bashing his budget bill by saying he's disappointed in Musk, and that set off a series of back-and-forth social media posts in which Musk and Trump wouldn't have won the election without him, followed by Trump threatening to cancel Musk's government contracts and subsidies, further devolving from there. Tesla's stock bore the brunt of the spat, plummeting 14%, wiping out more than $180 billion in market value and lowering the EV maker's valuation below $1 trillion.
All right, let's go live now to Kent, where we are on the scene live of this, looks like a workplace shooting. Our KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is getting new details. James.
Workplace shooting and fire here, Aaron, at what is known as the West Valley at 216 Industrial Complex. SWAT team here just tried to make entry into the rear of the building. About 10 minutes ago, they were repelled by smoke that continues to come out of the back of that building. They backed out, then sent a drone up to try to see if the drone could get inside. But earlier use of a drone was again hampered by smoke, so they weren't able to get that one inside either. Meantime, we were just waiting here to see what happens next. We still don't have any information from the Kent Police Department or the King County Sheriff's Office. They are trying to decide, or trying to figure out, I should say, whether the man is dead inside or whether he's still inside and hiding, which could create some big danger for them with so much smoke hampering their ability to see through the building. So we'll stay out here and we'll try to contact the King County Sheriff's Office and Kent Police to see if they can give us a little bit of information about what happened here. Reporting live in Kent, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, James. And that takes us to 2:33. We go now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by Beacon Plumbing, and we start on I-5 northbound in Linwood right at 405. Right now, a collision is blocking the HOV lane. Starting to see some backups now build up right around starting, let's say, Mount Lake Terrace and then approaching the Cedar Valley area there in Linwood. About a 2-mile backup now and potentially growing as we speak. Linwood to Seattle going the other way is a 48-minute drive. Tacoma to Olympia, thick right now through JBLM. That is a 53-minute drive. And heading northbound from Olympia, we do have some road work right at the Nisqually flyover at JBLM. That's what's slowing you down there. Renton to Puyallup, just heavy volume and a 1-hour drive right now. Also thick from Bellevue to Renton. And looking at a 35-minute drive. That is very heavy as you approach Victoria. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking and call Beacon. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are sunny today. Very pleasant temperatures, highs in the mid-70s. Right now we're at 74 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages to get to. People are very excited about our bee sting tomorrow. We're going to be stung live on the air by some bees. It's going to be fun. It's going to be at 1 o'clock, so you can watch us live. Watch Spike have a
swell up
early reaction.
I'm not going to swell up. I'm not allergic.
And watch me handle it like a man. Like a man. Real fast correction. I do have to correct you on something, Spike, because I was looking something up.
What'd I get
over the
wrong?
break. Well, I couldn't believe. I was like, is it really true that we haven't had any "In God We Trust" phrases on coins but only since the 1950s?
It was added. When was it added to the currency?
1864. Yeah.
It was added to currency. I thought Eisenhower added it to currency.
In 1864, it first appeared on the 2-cent piece following a public appeal for the nation's money to recognize a deity. Yeah, so it was back in 1864.
Okay, it was added to the pledge in 54.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Okay.
But it's there. I like it. Some people don't like it, but those people aren't in charge. Thank God. All right, let's get to some other stuff. Should we do some text messages here?
I'd love to.
Let's get some text messages in. All right, Laura, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Can we start at the bottom? Because we got so many good ideas for how you can take care of this.
You're in charge.
Wasp nest in your backyard.
Is it a wasp? People telling me it's a wasp.
Oh, we got a lot of people saying it was a wasp.
That's not a yellow jacket? Can you pull the video back up?
Are those not the same thing?
Is a wasp and a yellow jacket the same thing? I thought they were different things.
If only we had an on-staff French beekeeper.
Yeah. If only we had a Quentin Guillon who could let us know. All right, we're going to look at this wasp nest again, possibly. Could be a yellow jacket nest. We can just have it playing in the background while we discuss how people are actually going to help me with this.
Okay.
All right, how Jake can take care of the wasp nest in his backyard. It's fine, don't worry. Oh, there you go. All right, good. All right, Laura, go for it.
Give me a second. Now I have to pull the text back up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Solomon in Seattle says, put a large black trash bag over it tomorrow morning when it's cold and zip tie the bottom. That's basically what your plan is, right?
You see, in the morning when it's cold before they rise.
Yeah, when they're sweet little bees.
Sweet little buzzers.
But it changes the scenario a little bit if they're wasps. Wasps scare me. A little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do the same thing.
Well, we've got a photo up there on My Northwest on the YouTube channel. Anybody who knows what they're talking about can take a look and tell you what you're dealing with. Because I would like you to know what you're dealing with before you deal with this.
Look at that thing. Somebody told me I should just light it on fire. They said just light it on fire.
That was my first thought, but then there's a lovely tree there, which is close to your home. I don't think that's a smart plan.
I don't think lighting it on fire is
206 says, hit it with a garden hose and then run.
No. See, that's just going to upset the bee. They just got just like a bunch of wet hornets.
Yeah.
Or wasps. That's not a good idea. Doug in Cedro Willie says, can of hairspray and a lighter. We got a bunch of firebugs.
The makeshift blowtorch is not what we're going with here. 253 says, whenever I get smoked out, I eat a lot and just kind of lackadaisically lie around.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
I'm glad you can relate to our last topic.
206, I've dealt with this before. Wear your Helly Hansen rain gear and take a pair of loppers and drop the nest into a garbage can. Set it out and let the garbage guy deal with it.
Oh,
that's evil.
That's awful.
That does seem mean.
Oh, man, a big
garbage.
Drop it in a can, slap the lid on quick.
All right.
Put do not open till Christmas on it.
This is Josh in Auburn. He says, that looks like a bald-faced hornet's nest. Very, very angry. Those do not look like yellow jackets. Definitely something a professional should handle, as they do sting over and over and over and over again and are very territorial. I know from personal experience. That's the thing, is like, this is the part of my backyard. My kids play out here all the time.
Yeah. And then Jen in 425, who's a reliable source. Jen's been with us for a long time. They will eat through the bag.
I already know how to fix that.
Okay.
Double bag it.
That's what James in 425 says. Double bag it.
Does he say? Yeah, there you go. Double bag it. I'll double bag it.
I love these people.
And the outer bag, I will pre-spray with hornet stuff. So if they touch it, they go little teeth. They want to bite it. They're gonna bite hornet spray.
Maybe the smartest advice though. 360 says hire someone to take care of this. Do not do it yourself.
If only I had a good beekeeper that I knew. Oh yeah, we do. We do know a beekeeper.
You probably say, I don't do wasps.
Yeah. I know honeybees, not wasps.
On high school pranks, Bobby in Tacoma says, at my high school, someone got into school early after all the teachers had arrived and chained up the parking lot so nobody could leave or come. Basically, anyone who drove to school turned around and went home. Teachers were locked in. That's a good harmless fun.
That's a harmless fun.
That's great.
Yeah. Unless one of them is in an emergency and then they can't get their vehicle out, and that's going to be a pain. But overall, it's pretty funny.
Jaden in Olympia says, we put shopping carts on top of the roof here in Shelton. The school is right next to the Walmart. They all got returned.
How do they get shopping carts on the roof?
That's teamwork.
That's heavy.
Make a chain, guys.
Unicycle Mike says, it wasn't me. Yeah, right. But when I was in high school, somebody I knew rode their dirt bike up the stairs, down the hall, down the other flight of stairs in our school. He only got caught because the person who was supposed to hold the door open got scared and ran.
Oh!
He got kicked out of school and wasn't allowed to graduate. Oh, that's a bummer.
I think that's kind of what needs to happen for those three.
Just no graduation.
No graduation. And I know it's an impact on the entire family, but they should have raised smarter kids.
I agree with you. I think we're of the same mind on this one.
Yeah, and 425 says, give those boys community service. Lots of it. It makes an impact. I can vouch for that firsthand. Made me think twice about a lot of stuff I did.
There you go. Absolutely.
Can we go back real quick to taking your son to the first Mariner game? Because I got to say, Dennis in Seattle said, well, yeah, Spike was sitting next to Laura's mom, but he didn't know it was Laura's mom because he thought it was Laura's sister. And I thought it was one of Laura's buddies.
Yeah. She's very youthful.
It bodes well for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to look young for a
Fingers
very long
crossed.
time. Fingers crossed.
And Sean in Parkland says, playing cats in the cradle all the way to the game.
Oh, I know. Jeez Louise.
That's my boy.
Let's see here. Dumbest thing you bought at Costco. This is a good one. Melanie in Bothell says, dumbest thing that I bought at Costco was a giant floating island for the lake that is bigger than my boat. The picture on the box of people floating with sunglasses and cocktails was the tractor beam that just pulled me in.
I've seen that.
I almost bought this.
I've seen that too, man.
The lounge island, yes, and it's got like built-in holes where you put your butts.
Drinks. Oh, for your butthole, yeah.
So your butt in the lake. Your butt sits in the lake, so you're comfy.
I know what this is.
You've seen this.
I've hung out on these. There was one time at a very rich person's house, like off of Mercer Island.
Was
in
it
Lake
awesome?
Washington. It was sick. Yeah, it was as good as it looks.
It's got the built-in cooler.
Oh my God,
in
it
the
was so
floaty,
good.
Yeah, it's got cup holders.
Cup holders, coolers, but I don't want to say butthole.
No, it's got a
it's got a free the bottom
built-in seat hole.
Free the bottom.
It is
seat.
basically a boat. It seats like 8.
Yeah, it's massive. It's huge. Plus, everybody who's on it in the picture is all like model looking.
And they're having fun.
Yeah.
You look better when you're
They
floating
don't
on a
show
lake.
normal people.
You just
in
look
those
better
things.
floating on a lake.
Wouldn't that be funny?
And Kip in Lake Bay says, Jake, I highly recommend purchasing a small air compressor.
I have one.
Even without the dragging experience, a small air compressor can fill a vehicle tire with a slow leak so the driver can make it to a tire shop. Also handy if you need clear fluid out of a hose line to blow dust off of a project.
Kip in Lake Bay is correct. And
Yeah,
this is something my wife literally said this to me. When I finished blowing it up, I came over. I was so satisfied with myself because I spent 2 hours blowing up this
Yeah,
stupid
you're all
thing.
lightheaded.
I'm all lightheaded. I'm completely sweaty. I just want it to go away. And my wife goes, oh, you should use the air compressor. I said, thanks. She's literally sitting there watching me the entire time.
She waited an hour. I don't want to bother you. You look so intense.
She was like, you should have used the air compressor. I said, okay. Thank you.
I love your wife.
Very sweet of you.
Where to next?
Let's do the girl who lost their state championship for spraying a fire extinguisher, excessive celebration. Thomas in North Bend says, act like you've been there before. Who had to clean up after the fire extinguisher? That's a good point.
It wasn't that much. Mark D. in Lake Stevens says, to the victor go the spoils. Don't like it, then beat her. Let the girls celebrate.
Okay. Laura, do you want to finish one more here?
Chris in Marysville, rules are put in place for a reason. Be a good winner. Be gracious. Don't try and show off in front of the other athletes. That's just ridiculous, in my opinion.
All right. We'll let Chris have the final word on that one. Very interesting topic.
It is.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one.
Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Cars for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hi, I'm Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. We're celebrating 100 years of Pella excellence with an offer as strong as our legacy. Get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, and enjoy 100 days with no interest and no payments. It's our way of saying thank you for letting us be a part of your homes for a century. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free consultation today. Pella, 100 years strong.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Over 400 tariff-free new Kias are available now at Kia of Everett with easy lease and financing options. Experience simple, easy fun at Kia of Everett today.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfer is available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit Earnin.com for full details.
Welcome back to the show. Spike, just yesterday we were talking about the shopping experience at a local grocery store. I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to dog them too hard. But my alcohol purchasing experience there was less than ideal. Didn't make me feel good.
Well, it's a security issue, right? Thievery has become out of control.
Listen, you're treating everybody like they're a thief. I don't like that. But anyway,
I'm with you.
Listen to this. I saw this video. It's crazy. Have you seen the new robot security guards at Walmart? Have you seen this?
I heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Do we have a picture of this that we can show him, Laura, or for anybody watching on YouTube or on mynorthwest.com who's watching us live? This is now, it looks like a trash can with wheels. You know what it actually looks like?
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
It looks like an R2-D2.
A little bit.
Like a less sophisticated, modern, not futuristic R2-D2.
You know what it doesn't look like?
What?
A security guard.
That's a security guard, though. That walks around and it keeps an eye on people.
I want RoboCop. I want a
would be cool.
6'7" foot tall, half man, half metal.
Yeah. This looks almost exactly like, do you remember in the first part of Star Wars when we're meeting R2-D2 and C-3PO for the first time, and they're wandering around? This is before Luke and his uncle buy them. And they get picked up, and is it by the Jawas?
The Jawas, yes.
So the
that's
Jawas
right.
pick them up, and they shove them into the thing, and they're in the underground part of the ship, and we're meeting and there's like clearly some hastily thrown together set robots that they had to figure. There's a garbage can one. I don't know if you.
I remember this. Yeah.
Okay, you've seen it.
Yeah.
This looks like a garbage can robot. It looks exactly like that with wheels.
Well, this is Walmart parking lot security.
Parking lot security. Yes. This
is it armed?
It's not armed, but it does have a video monitoring system on it.
So it can watch you get robbed in the parking lot and play at the Walmart Christmas party. What?
Well, the idea is that if you've been in those parking lots where they have like those big police looking lights.
Yeah, blue light flashes.
A blue light flashing,
yeah.
and it's hooked up to some sort of a generator down below, and it's got an aerial view, and it monitors monitoring the entire parking lot.
You're being watched. Don't do something stupid, basically.
Yes.
Hey, criminals, beware.
So that's what this is for Walmart. It rolled them out at select stores starting all the way back in 2018. So they've been doing it for a while now. But the robot has been named Tally. They call the robot Tally.
Tally,
yeah. They started using a robot named Tally all the way back in 2015, actually. And that robot, like this robot, goes around and makes sure that all the shelves are properly stocked. So that's not really a security one. That's just like hey, let's get eyes on stuff and see what needs to be restocked.
Isn't that a job a human would do or used to do, apparently?
Listen, there's a lot of jobs humans used to do.
Yeah, but
robots do them now.
I guess so.
When's the last time you ordered food at a fast food place from a human?
Yeah, you're right. It's all automation. It's all automation.
Robots. Would this be if you were a thief? I know you're not, but if you were a thief, I don't even want to put you in the shoes.
No, I'll jump there. I'll jump back into my sordid past.
When you're a young man, you're a thief. You're a young man. Would this deter you from breaking the law?
What's its top speed?
Well, it doesn't matter if it sees you.
I can outrun it.
But of course you can outrun. It's not going to chase you.
Since I'm in the mind of I'm in the criminal mind, I'm wearing a face mask.
Okay.
I got a mask on. I got a black hood on. They can't identify me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I can outrun old R2 useless here.
He does look like R2 useless.
CP throw up.
I kind of like it actually.
Do you?
Yeah. I like.
If
robots.
it was armed, if it had a stun ray, if it shot a net.
If it did something,
Spider-Man,
if it did something,
if this thing rolled up on me, silent but deadly, and threw a net over me as I was trying to accost some old lady out of her groceries.
Here's what I would
maybe one of those things that wrap your ankles up and drop you like you're in the outback of Australia.
Yeah,
right. All of a sudden, I'm on the ground. My ankles can't move, and he's over here.
Grandma,
Grandma. Let's go. So let's tell you what. I like. That's a good idea, Walmart.
Just
I love your
fully
intent.
Realized.
Right. Let's just give them these helpful improvement suggestions.
Yeah.
Right?
I think.
And does it have a place for garbage on it? Because it looks like a garbage can. Can I drop my garbage in it?
Instead of throwing it, right? They need a little hook on the side with just a bag hanging there. Yeah. Just toss your garbage in when you're ready.
Does it round up stray carts?
No, it doesn't do it. No, it doesn't do anything. It just films you.
Just okay.
You know what would be cool is if they had somebody back in an office somewhere who could have a microphone on
and interact with people.
Interact with people.
Thanks for shopping at Walmart.
Exactly.
Hey, I see you got the lemonade. 3 for $5. Good choice.
Isn't that a good deal?
Solid plan.
We robots love that.
Remember,
deal.
Thursdays are 2 for 1. Whatever, interact with the people.
Yeah, make it fun.
Give a little human companion in this thing.
Exactly.
It'd be hilarious if there was a real small guy inside riding around.
Like in the actual Star Wars?
Like in the actual Star Wars, right? Yeah.
A little person inside it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
that seems very hot for that person.
It seems kind of redundant, too.
To wander around. It opens up and it's a tiny little security guy.
Thanks for coming. Hey,
it's
buddy.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. He'd charm any criminal away from doing anything wrong.
A little rolling.
You sure you want to do that, pal? Have you ever seen?
A good idea.
Have you ever seen Catwoman? Yo.
I still lust after her.
I'm a fan of hers. Neither of us do a very good Danny DeVito.
We got to work on it.
All right, come back tomorrow. We got Friday coming up tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got Three Amigos. We're going to get stung by some bees live at 1 o'clock.
Right,
You're not going to want to miss that.
Demonstrate the medical benefits of bee stings.
Tell your friends about it. Share the video with your friends to watch us live, because if you do, you might see Spike cry like a girl.
Oh, that's pretty much a lot.
You're never going to see more of a man than this guy right here. All right, we got a lot more coming up with John Curley. Stick around, but we got to go. Bye-bye.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin. I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next